Lately I've been thinking about this life and how it brought me here. Staring at this man in the mirror, I see him often. He'll wipe my tears. Only if you knew what I was going through. Only if you walked it in my shoes. Certain things don't like to talk about, but I'll always remember. The chaos in my mind turned my heart out in November. I'm surrounded by too many doors, not sure which way I entered, but I'm rocking with my
Welcome to the Message Hope Podcast, where the hope stands for hearing other people's experience. My name is Adam.
My name is Mike, and today on the show we have a gentleman that I met in treatment years and years ago, and then I ran back into him in the rooms, and I respect his recovery in a major way. He's of service, he's got fire recovery, and he's finally on to come on the show. Welcome, Matt.
What up, guys?
What's up, Holmes?
How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I just got out the gym, so feeling good, feeling pretty good, man. This year's been a little bit rough, but we're still moving forward, so I'm good, man.
All right, cool.
How much clean time you got, Matt?
So right now I have like a little bit over 2.5 years.
Okay.
So I think maybe like my clean date is July 16, 2022.
Really?
So, yeah. So,
okay.
So I'm on my way to 3.
Yeah, nice, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. So tell us a little bit about how you grew up. What was that like? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up here in Adino. We lived in Rialto, and then one of my brothers passed away in front of the house. He got hit by a car. So my brother was 4, I was 2, and my younger brother, biological brothers, my younger brother, he was just born, so he was like a baby. And then we were having like a house party, and my brother ran into the street to my older brother ran into the street to my cousin's car, and then I was running after him. My dad grabbed me, and then my brother got hit by a car. So after that incident had happened, and this is just like the way the story is told to me. Right. I don't remember, but after that we moved to. I do remember like bits and pieces, but we moved to the north side of San Bernardino, like over by Palm area, like by Devore. And so that's kind of that's where I grew up. Mm-hmm. Growing up with my family, it wasn't really bad, bro. Like, especially like now that I'm older, looking back, like, hindsight is 20/20, and just hearing how a lot of people, like their childhoods were. Mine wasn't bad, bro. Like, it wasn't, I didn't like it. But it wasn't bad. Like, my both of my parents worked, like we always lived in a house, like we always have food on the table. But I think that like I think where the first problem stems from is like my father, like his inability to show like emotion, and then my mom's like extreme ability to like show emotion and give love. So it's like having those two extremes is as a child is like really confusing, and what ended up happening throughout my childhood was that my dad is like super rigid, super strict, and my mom is like super loving and super lenient. So we basically like would sneak around and do stuff around my dad all the time. Like example, right? Like I remember when I was in high school, like my dad worked construction, my mom was a nurse, and my dad was like, like you gotta wear jeans, you gotta wear a shirt, and you gotta wear boots. And, like I was a skater because I grew up where we grew up, like I didn't have any black friends, like all my friends were white. And so, and we'll get to that in a minute too. Cause these are where, this is like kind of where my identity crisis started to come in, but that example that I'm talking about was my dad made us get boots to wear to school. Yeah. And like I'm in high school, bro. Like I'm not trying to wear no fucking like boots to school, like construction boots to school. Yeah. So my mom took us to go to get like some skating shoes, you know, like I got some fucking like DVS's and shit. And so like I would walk to the bus stop, and at the bus stop, like I would change my shoes, you know, and like just different things like that would happen. Like, you know, my dad would send me, my mom and my brother to church, like on Sundays. He would like, you guys need to go to church. And he would send us to church. And then like my mom, like we would not go to church. Like we go to Walmart, and like my mom would like, we just walk around Walmart, and like my mom would let's look at toys and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that's kind of like things like that. Like we always be sneaking around. But I mean, you know, like my childhood wasn't bad, bro. Like I had a Sega Genesis in the room. Like I had a TV in the room. Like,
Yeah.
but now having kids, like I see that a lot of that, and this is just me. Like I have not got like answers for this, right? Like from my parents, but I think that it was like helpful to them, like having like us having a distraction, like you know,
Yeah.
me being able to be in the room, because like my household, like to kind of paint the picture for you, was like, you know, I never went in my parents' room, wasn't allowed, but my parents never came in our room.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom would, but my dad would never come in our room.
Yeah.
You know, oh, this is a funny one too. So I remember, so I was just curious, bro. Like, you know, we used to have babysitters, and I remember the first time I discovered like a naked woman. This is gonna be good. So
Yeah.
the first time I discovered a naked woman, right? I was for some reason, bro, like we had this like linen closet, and I was like, dude, what's at the top of it? I don't know how old I was. I was really young though, like maybe like
You had to climb up there?
I climbed up it, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
climbed up it, and I found a deck of cards, bro. Like a deck of playing cards,
Yeah.
and they all had like these naked ladies on it, bro. Like bro, it was,
I remember those.
bro.
I remember those books.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So that was like the first time, and like there was like just different like instances that happened, like my family never, like they don't talk about stuff, you know. But I mean, you know, it was just like it wasn't that different. It wasn't that like out of sorts. I think the biggest thing that I should know is that my dad. So my dad was born in 1929. So right now he's 95.
Ah.
My mom was born in. My mom is 67, so she was born in like
50s.
60s, you know. So my mom was. I mean, I didn't have any concept of age, but like, you know, when we were growing up, like my mom was like in her 20s, bro. Like my dad was like in his 60s. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was like a huge age difference, you know. My dad used to drink, but he stopped drinking on his own. And I mean, I seen him like rough my mom up a few times, like drag her by the hair, but it was for the most part, bro, like it, you know, it was just like my parents worked all the time. You know, they worked all the time. I mean, we used to get our ass whooped by my dad. You know, like spankings and shit. Like they were pretty brutal, but for the most part, like I drowned myself in video games. I had some friends around the neighborhood, and it was just pretty normal, you know. Once a big incident that ended up happening. Let me back up. So after I found that deck of playing cards, we used to have this babysitter, bro, and I was curious.
Yeah.
And so we had this babysitter, and she was like sleeping on the couch, and like I got curious, bro. So like I fucking lifted up her shirt, and you know I fucking like try like see. You know, her titties. And she woke up, and I ran, bro, and I hid under the bed, and then she nothing ever happened from it, bro.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like she came in the room, but like this part is like kind of foggy, so I'm not gonna continue the story because I might be lying. But I do know that like my parents were never told. Like nothing. Like she never was like mad at like, you know, that nothing ever happened of it. So but yeah, bro, it was just normal. And then, so my parents ended up losing that house because we were, like, there's certain parts of my childhood that I, like, remember, like, very vividly.
Yeah.
And I do remember the part where, you know, my parents, so we lived in the suburbs over there, you know, like, we had a nice neighborhood, nice house. It was back when San Bernardino was, like, in the north end, it was nice. It was,
Yeah.
it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was nice. And they were renting the house, and the guy they were renting the house from, like, he fucking, like, wasn't, like, he was taking the money and doing whatever with it. So, basically, one day, like, we just got an eviction notice. And my parents didn't know about it. So, my brother owned a house in, my dad's sister owned 2 houses in Delman Heights. and so we moved to Delman Heights, and that was like culture shock, bro. And this
Yeah.
was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, bro, like literally other side of the tracks type shit. You know, like literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, over the bridge.
Yeah. So we moved there, bro, and at this point, bro, like the only black people I've ever like really been in contact with is like my family. You know what I mean? Like all my friends were white, like, you know, my parents don't talk like my parents talk pretty proper. Like, I wasn't really, most of my family does, you know, and so, yeah, bro, it was just a culture shock, man. And
How old were you when that happened?
I was like in like middle school. So I was going to Shannon Hills.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to Shannon Hills, bro, and so we moved over there, man, and it was that's kind of like when life really started getting hard for me as a child, because it was just like you know, I seen all these things that my parents were doing. Like my parents were like really adamant on keeping me on at the schools like on the other side, you know, north end of San Bernardino. So, and my brother lived on the north end. He lives by Cajon and like Cal State. So they you know, we were using his address. Like it was harder for me to get to school. But we did so yeah, so you know, I'm going to school over there, bro, and this is when I'm starting to build up that like oh man, like starting to see like the differences like in like my family than like my friends' families, you know what I mean? Like I'm starting to notice that like, hey, like, oh man, like all my friends' dads are like young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my dad's old. Like my dad will come pick me up or something, or people see my dad like, oh, that's your grandpa? And I'm like, nah, it's my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And so it was like I just started to like resent my dad, bro, especially because like, bro, my dad's like brutal, bro. Like he's like the kind of guy, like when we lived in the north end, bro, like on the side of the house, like this fool would have rabbits, bro, and he would kill them and like cook them. You know what I mean? Like he's like Southern, bro. Like he's like, you know, like he's the kind of guy that like will catch gophers with a gopher trap and then hang them on the fence to let them die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's like fucking country as fuck, you know? You know what I'm saying? So fucking just construction worker, carpenter, you know, like so you know, and at this point too, like it's important for me to note that like I never like my dad didn't like tell us that he loved us. Like my dad like he didn't like ever like he wasn't like soft. He was like real rigid, real rough, you know? You know, I didn't really see him. The only time I really see him like smile and get along with people are like family parties or like when we went out to like places, you know? But in the home, you know, it wasn't like that. Like I'd have friends come spend the night and you know, my dad was like that dad that walked out like in the fucking tidy, in the dun-dun-duns, you know, the tidy whities, like just mobbing the house. And like my friends were like, no, we're not coming back. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, I just started to notice, bro, how different my family was than like a lot of other families. Cause one of the things I also know is that, one of the good things about my childhood, right? Like the things that I see now that like was really like a beautiful thing is that my parents like we always were like hanging out with other kids, you know? And that's like the difference between like, I think back then and today, right? Because like we would like, my parents would like take us to our friend's house. They would like meet the parents and like we go spend the night at our friend's house, right?
Yeah.
So just the older I got, the more I try to like be away from and then like our parents would leave us home too. Like, you know, they leave us home alone, bro. Like, you know, I would never leave my kids home alone today, you know? Like I don't even trust those little fuckers, you know? No. But
When I was that age, I remember being like told to like go outside and don't come back till the street lights.
Yeah.
And they would sometimes like even lock the front door.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they would say,
and it was okay. You know?
Yeah.
Or they would say, if you come back in, you're not going back out. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
knew
yeah,
to
yeah.
stay outside and never come back in, bro. You ain't
Yeah.
using the restroom. You ain't getting no water. We drink from the water hose back then, bro.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
If
It was
you go
some good
outside-
water, dude.
It was, bro.
Hey, bro. So yeah, it was.
Not the hot though. When it first came out, remember how that should be hot as fuck? You always had
Tasted like the hose.
You know, but I'm glad that you mentioned that, bro, because when I lived on the north end, like, bro, like I literally had like to like leave it to Beaver kind of life, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like when I was like really young and we lived on the north end, like I had this friend that lived next door, and this motherfucker would come into my tree, he would climb my tree, and he would just wait for us to be able to come outside, and we'd do our homework, and then we come out. You know what I mean? Like it was dope, bro. Like looking back, like it was super dope. And like there was like little girls, and oh shoot, I forgot this one story too, bro. Like there so after the titty thing with the babysitter and the deck of cards, I was sitting in my room with this girl Alice. She lived up the street from me in the 2-story house, the really nice one, and she was at my she was at my house, and then she was like, I'll show you yours if you show me mine. And bro, I was so scared. Like, I don't even remember if I showed her. I think I did, but you know, I wanted to play Sega, but anyways, bro. So
I wanted to play Sega.
I always wanted to play Sega, bro, all the time. But going moving back forward. So when we moved to Delman Heights, like it was like totally different, bro. It was like we had the fence, bro. Like my dad got like 3 Rottweilers. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking, he got the Rottweilers trained. Like we weren't allowed to go outside of the fence. Like we're like, you know what I mean? It was like confined, bro. And it was crazy, bro, because like Delman Heights was like super active back then, bro. It was like so active, bro. Like, you know, it was like police chases in the neighborhood, and they'd have this thing, the lowrider show at the park, at the Delman Heights Park at the center, and when they had that, they would have it like once a year, bro. And like when they would have it, bro, literally they would just take over the whole neighborhood. Like the Bloods would take over the whole neighborhood. Cars would be parked like right in the middle of your driveway. Like you couldn't even leave the house, you know? So my brother lived across the street, and we lived like diagonal from us. And I mean, we'd still go out and play with the kids, but like we weren't able to leave like the vicinity of like the yard.
Yeah.
And most of the time my dad would get to know all the kids, and like he would, like my dad was like super controlling, so he would like see like the kids can come over here, but like you guys can't go over there, type shit. Or I could go to my brother's house, you know. So yeah, bro, so that, you know, that was that. And I just resented a lot of it. Like I resented living there, bro. It was scary to me. My cousin, my nephew, my brother's son, because this is important to mention too, I have 11 brothers, you know, but like only the 2 that I told you about before, the one that passed away, my younger brother, they're my only biological brothers from my dad and my mom. And then my other brothers are stepbrothers, but they're like some of them are like older than my mom. You know what I'm saying? So one of my brothers, Dwayne, he lived across the street, and my nephew, but all my nephews and my nieces are like my age. And so, you know, my nephew, he wanted to be a Blood, so he, you know, got jumped in. And the kid across the street, he was like a Blood. And I mean, at this time, we're like 13 years old, right? Really, bro, like, I just really started to like notice those differences. And I was just like, I was already skateboarding at this time, and I just like really built this like idea, like I don't fucking want to be like these people. You know, because I'm still kicking it with my friends that I've known since fucking like kindergarten. You know, and they're not black, they're all white. You know, and so I just was like, I don't fucking want to be like, I don't want to live here. And it's important to say too that my mom is mixed, and everyone thinks my mom's Hispanic. You know, so like people would like talk to her in Spanish. She's like your color, you know. You know, so, and my brother is like your color too. So so everyone knew my brother, see my mom, and so everyone would think that I'm half white. So I just rolled with that. You know what I'm saying? Roll with it growing up. And some important things to know is like I mean, I just really started being like super racist, bro. Like, you know, like I had like the only real black friend I had was Robert. He lived across the street, and I love that fool to death. Like, you know what I mean? But you know, we go to skateboard at the park, and like the Bloods would come, and I would tell my little Mexican homies. And this is like I kicked it with all the Mexican kids in my neighborhood. So like all my friends in my neighborhood were like Mexican, and we all skateboarded. And then you know, when I go to school, I kick all my white friends, you know, and
Yeah.
spend night at their house. So I was like even from a young age, bro, like I was living like fucking 3 different lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but I just didn't want to be fucking like them. Like I didn't want to fucking be like black people. Like I
Yeah.
just didn't, bro. Like, I mean, it's a little bit harder for me to say that now, but
Right.
you know what I mean? But like I didn't, bro, because I just from a young age, I always knew right from wrong. Like my mom taught me well. Like my dad taught me well, but I fucking hated myself, bro, for like what like my color was. Like I always looked at the differences,
Right.
and so
You know, I grew up with that same theme, bro. So I'm
Yeah.
half white, half Mexican. I grew up in a black neighborhood, the Yellows. I'm sure you heard of the Yellows,
Yeah.
bro, right? So I grew up in the Yellows. All my friends were Mexican. Like the only family members I ever known, right, besides my dad and like a few of my sisters who are, you know, white, right, were all Mexican, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like, and I was always made fun of, and that's what fucked me up because I would always call like racial slurs about white people, right?
Yeah.
You
So
know?
was I, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I was the only white kid.
Right.
It was like that, but it was like you, Matt, but
Yeah.
backwards.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, I hated that part of me, bro. I
Yeah.
hated my name.
Yeah.
Right? I hate because my full name's super white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hated my name. I hated my skin color, right? And like, I think I like overcompensated to be like Hispanic or like overcompensated to be Mexican, right? And people are like, well, what race are you? Well, I'm Mexican. And you know,
Yeah.
but I think like in recovery, right? Like we talk about like self-acceptance and learning like who we are as people and like, I'm Irish, Scottish, Mexican, bro. That's
Yeah.
just it. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of it all. Proud of my last name, right?
Yeah.
Not, I'm gonna be honest, not because I feel like I'm proud to have my dad's last name, because I think that was a big part of my discomfort with my race, because the only person that I knew that was blonde hair, blue eyes, and was white was my father, who left me.
Yeah.
And so in my head, I'm like, you motherfuckers are all the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but like I'm proud of my last name because of me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm proud of my last name because of the name I gave to my children.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, like I'm proud of it because I want my son to carry that name, and I want him to be proud of it. I want him to have a wife that's a Mitchell, you know what I'm saying? And them to be proud of that name, and then so forth, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But I think we all grow up with a little bit of racial bias, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you get
Yeah.
jumped by a certain group, bro,
Yeah.
it's like, man, fuck these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Not just you 5, but like
all
fuck
of
all
them.
you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like growing up in San Bernardino, there's a lot of the racial differences,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
For
blacks
sure.
hang out with the blacks, the Mexicans hang out with the
Yeah.
Mexicans, the white hang out with the whites, right?
Yeah.
And like I don't know about you guys, but in high school it was always a race war, bro.
Yeah,
Bro,
it was.
You know?
always, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting to next, bro.
Yeah.
Like that. So the biggest so like the high school is like when everything like got super like it was just, that's how it was, bro, because you know I skated, bro, and like the white kids were like who accepted me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they accepted me, bro. And so we were having the fucking race wars at Cajon.
Yeah.
And
they're happening at all the schools.
Yeah, all the
I was
schools,
at
bro.
Pacific, and it was.
Yeah. And so the first time that it was like I always had it, like knew it in my head, but it wasn't like a statement that I was like making at this point. But like
Right.
when I was in 10th grade, the race wars were happening, and I remember, bro, I was standing on the planter with all my homies. And there were all the black kids on this side, and then there were all the white kids on this side. And like I don't see this yet. And like we're fucking yelling at each other, calling each other names. This is like when G Unit came out,
Yeah.
right? And then so like all the black kids would walk around school saying G Unit, and then we would always be like, oh motherfuckers, fucking shut the fuck up, you fucking guys are loud, like saying
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
we would
yeah.
say, and so we're all like fucking doing our thing, like saying all whatever we were saying to each other. And then this one kid, he looked at me, he's like, "You're a fucking traitor, Matt." And then I fucking looked around, and I looked, and I'm like everybody around me was white. You know what I mean? But I'm like, then I'm a fucking traitor then. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And so fast forward a little bit. So that was like my childhood, bro, and it's important to note too, like, because this will tie into like, a little bit forward, because I don't really know where I'm going with this. We'll find out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, like there was like I had like my core, like we all do. Like I had my core group of friends, and in the 9th grade, this one of my friends, Justin, came into my life, and he was like my best friend, bro. Like, you know, like and then I might know too that like during this time, like I started smoking weed. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I fucking loved weed, you know, like it was introduced to me like in Delma Heights, and we would smoke and we would skate, dude. Like, you know, I never was like a big drinker. Like we'd do the same shit that kids do, like
Yeah.
give somebody a little bit of money to go get us some fucking liquor. But you know,
Some 211s.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh well, our shit was SoCo. You know, we get the SoCo, bro. We get that SoCo and just drink that shit straight and just watch movies and play video games all night, you know? But, you know, I mean, I just did the regular shit, bro. Like, we fucking went to parties, and I started driving early. I started working. And then my friend Justin came into my life at 9th grade, and, like, he was, like, my best friend, bro. Like, he was, like, we were so solid, bro. And I loved the dude because, like, he could talk shit with the best of them, bro. Like, I mean, like, so good. And he would talk shit to everybody but me, dude. Like even like he would be fucking kind, but like just for some reason, like he never really talked shit about me. We were like best friends. And so, you know, I fucking almost started ditching, doing all that shit. Like, and I mean, and I'm just doing shit that kids do, bro. Like my life, like it wasn't really like bad, bro. Like when I look back, like it wasn't like, it might sound bad, but it wasn't, because like I was failing my classes, but like also when I was 16, my dad woke me up and said, "You're getting a job." You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "You're getting your license." So I worked at Stater Brothers, bro. I was working 30 hours a week at 16 at Stater Brothers. I would go to school, I would get out of school, I'd go to work at Stater's on Kendall, and I would work till like 11:30 at night. And I would work on Saturday and Sunday too. So I wasn't doing no homework. I wasn't doing any of that. And then I ended up going to San Andreas. Going to San Andreas, it was cool, but I still found my people there. You know,
Yeah.
I found my people there, and just did that. And but I ended up graduating, going to college, and for the sake of anonymity, I'm not gonna like bring up a person's name, but I ended up finding my, you know, who is now my kid's mom, and
Yeah.
we ended up getting together after high school. I knew her in high school, and I was always in love with her. You know, she was always like the fucking one, you know, and so Justin and Aaron were like my best friends always, bro. And Justin has passed, Aaron's still alive. Like we're kind of rekindling our friendship right now, me and Aaron. But you know, it was like, bro, like it was just parties, bro, flyer parties, go to work. I graduated high school. I took a year off, went to college. I'm in college. Like I'm smoking weed, like hanging out with, like I had like couple different friend groups, but I would always be the one to bring us everybody together.
Yeah.
And bro, I was just having fun, bro, having fun. Never fucking tried coke, like when everyone's doing like coke and doing all that kind of stuff in high school, bro, because I was always, bro, like the one, like we would go clubbing, and I was always one like, fuck, like everybody's getting drunk, like how are we getting home? You know, I was always the one like with the car. I was always the one driving. Like I was always the one like bringing my friends from A and introducing my friends like over here. You know, like I bring my friends from the north end and take them over, because my homie Aaron, we used to throw parties at their house, and they live like right across the street from Valley College before they tore the houses down. You know what I'm saying? And so I would bring them over there, and I would always bring all my friends together. And bro, like I was always popular, bro. Like, you know, I was always like had friends. You know, I always had problems with girls. Like, you know what I mean? Like never could get the one I wanted, you know. Always ended up getting one that was like super good, and then something bad happens. We're not gonna get into all that, but I do have some girl. If we have time, we'll get into it. But really, bro, like I was just like living life. I got into college, and I started going to film school, and I was like, dude, I was like moving forward, dude. Like now being in recovery, like this is one thing that like I know that like reigns true in my life. Like I loved weed, bro. I smoked weed, but like weed did not like fuck my life off. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't like a thing that like kept me from doing what I needed to do. You know, I love smoking it, and so I ended up working at Best Buy. So at this point, I'm working at Best Buy. You know, I quit Stater Brothers. My dad's like, "Why would you quit Stater Brothers?" I'm like, "I'm doing what I want. I'm becoming more rebellious," and I'm like, "Dude, I want to go to film school." And like everyone's looking at me like, "Why the fuck are you going to film school? Like, do something better with your life." But I end up going, bro, and like we end up like having some huge successes, dude. Like, and I don't talk about this shit. Like I don't really like, not a lot of people in the program know, but like, you know, I did a lot of stuff, bro. Like, you know, I shot like 5 short films. I won every film that we shot won an award in a film festival. You know, I've been to the BET Awards. I've been to the Grammys. Like, I was like really like living that like California dream of like being like a filmmaker. You know, I was going to RCC and then like I had my friends that I party with from school on the side, and I had my friends from school, and then I started dating that girl, right? And everything was like, life was good, bro. And I went to her house one night, and she asked me to come into the backyard. And at this point, bro, like the only thing I had tried was I did ecstasy twice. The second time I did it, I got fucking really lit, called some girl that I was working with, told her, like, confessed my love to her, and made it super awkward. And I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did Spice a couple times. Gonzo was talking to me, and you know, from Muppet Babies.
Yeah,
Gonzo was talking to me.
When I did Spice, it was Alice in Wonderland, dude.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like, and all my friends would like do shrooms and all this shit, bro. And like, I was just like, I just couldn't get with it. Like, I was always too scared to do it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like the loss of control. Like, that's why I don't like drinking. Like, I don't like the loss of control, like feeling like I'm not in control, like the spinning, all that shit is just not for me. Weed is just like, I'm chilling, you know. And the weed now is like, I don't know about that shit, but the weed back then, it was cool. Like, you can fucking laugh, eat, bro, chill, bro.
Yeah.
And she took me to the backyard, bro, and she was like, I want you to try something with me. And I didn't know it was heroin, you know. And so like at this, like, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. Because she pulled it out of her pocket and it was on foil.
Yeah.
And like the first thing I'm like, I'm not smoking anything off of foil. Like, you have me fucked up. Like, you're crazy, bro. Like, you're out of your mind. Like, the only thing I had smoked is like out of a bong, like, or, you know what I mean? Or any, like, just out of the pipe, like just bud, bro, like blunts. But that's it. Like, that's like as far as I would go. And she was like, no, just hit it. And I'm like, no. And so I try to hit it, and I like the little fake little thing. And she's like, no, you have to hold it in. And I mean, we went at it for like an hour, bro. Like, we're at her parents' house, and we went at it for like an hour. And then, but like, it's important for me to say, like, I was like head over heels for this girl, you know?
Yeah.
I would like ran through a fucking metal door for her. You know what I mean? So I eventually hit it, and I held it.
Yeah.
And then and that shit hit right.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
I remember that moment for me, dude.
you know?
Yeah.
And I always say, bro, like, I was so present for that moment, because like when I did it, I was like, I just remember I didn't even know that it was heroin, but then I was just like, damn, dude, like, this is what I've been scared of this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I've been scared of. So I didn't get strung out until a year later. But what ended up happening, bro, is pretty much same thing that happens to all of us, you know? I slowly started losing the jobs. I started burning my friends I was shooting films with, like, and burning them in the sense of like, we'd have shoots and I wouldn't show up. You know, like we were in the process. So we were in a film festival called the 48 Hour Film Festival, and this is when I stopped doing everything. Like, I had pretty much, like, I was like on my way out of my job at Best Buy. I had already been, I'm like 21 and I had been working there for 5 years already. And what ended up happening was I was on my way out because I was showing up late. I was what was I saying?
You're on your way out from Best Buy?
On my way out from Best Buy. Oh yeah, the 48 Hour Film Festival.
Yeah.
And so at the 48 Hour Film Festival, we shot. We were gonna go to Paris to go to Cannes Film Festival. We turned in the film an hour late, but we still wanted to reshoot it and make it longer. So we were in the middle of a reshooting the film, and that's about the time that I got strung out, and I just disappeared from the world. Like I met other people, started boosting, and then I just did what we do, you know. So with all that being said, man, 13 years later, you know, my friend Justin had passed from cirrhosis, the one I told you about, and I lost touch with my friend Aaron. I lost touch with, you know, my sanity. I lost touch with pretty much everything, bro. And 2018, I had my son, but before that, I wasn't ever really willing to like try to get clean. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that you know, different days I feel different about like, or I have a different perspective on how I used to think back then.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think like, man, I really didn't want to get clean, or I did want to get clean, but the reality is, bro, it's just like I was just comfortable, bro.
Yeah. Was there any point in time, like, she pulled out that foil, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get into it and you're strung out, and then you're around these people boosting. Is there any point in time where you were like presented with like, oh, we're going to go boosting, or we're going to go robbing, or we're going to go do this or that? And you were like, no, I don't do this.
Not really, bro, because
It wasn't even a thought.
no, because I fell in love with heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like nothing you wouldn't do. That's
Yeah.
that's my story.
You know, I fell in love with heroin, and like for a long time, bro. Like I didn't really have any consequences. You know, like I was good at boosting. You know, I was never affiliated, so I didn't really do like that kind of shit. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I was around those kind of people, but like we had a good gig, bro. Like we go up on the we go up on the 210, fucking hit all the Home Depots, head back on the 10, return out all of them. You know, we had a plug in a pawn shop that would give us like more than 50% for the cards, and we go get a Momo and chill.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't really have a lot of consequences. You know, like I was real slippery, bro. You know, like I wasn't like the kind like. I think all of us like get an excitement from action, but like I wasn't like I had my girl, like I had my crime buddies, like I wasn't really out there trying to like be around a lot of people like that, you know. And so I was good, bro. Like I was in love with the drugs, bro. You know, but
It's funny you say that about Home Depot, because I used to do that same like
Yeah.
tour,
yeah,
and it got towards the end. It was like the AutoZone on 40th and the AutoZone on Kendall, and that's as far as I would make it. You know what I mean? I'd find a receipt here,
Yeah.
I'd go get it from there,
Yeah.
and I'd go right back there,
Yeah.
and that was my like
yeah.
30-40 bucks
Yeah.
for the morning. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. At the end, it was like that for me too. It was Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, walking in the parking lots, you know? So what I'll say, bro, I mean, there's like, I have so many stories, you know? I have so many stories, but pretty much the way I'll sum it up is that at the end, dude, like I had 2 kids. My relationship with my kid's mom was like horrible. I was living in my parents' house, and I was like really like hopeless. And at the end of my addiction, what happened was that you know, I was doing things that I like we all do. I was doing things that I had never did before. And
Yeah.
like where my addiction brought me to at the end, bro, is like no veins, 2 kids in the house, kids, you know, and my kids are my daughter's in the crib, my son's knocking on the door for me, right, to come out and play with them. My kid's mom is in the room. We're not talking, and I'm in the bathroom looking for a vein in my dick, trying to hit myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as I have no veins in my arms or anything.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like where I was at was like the darkest place in my life. Like I was spending about 8 hours in the bathroom at a time a day. You know, she worked at night, I worked in the daytime. And then eventually what happened, bro, is I crashed a couple cars and she left with the kids, and I was left by myself. And I have been to treatment many times, and I decided that I wanted to give it one more time. I don't know why, you know, for my kids. My sponsor tells me that, you know, I mean, we hear a lot of things, right? Like we hear a lot of things like you have to do it for yourself. Like you have to do it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I think that to a certain degree that's true, like when we're new, right? But really, like what I found freedom is within the selflessness. Because I know for myself, like at the core of like my disease, because I never thought I had a disease. Like it was never hard for me to admit that I was an addict, but my life being unmanageable, and like when I would go to treatment, they would tell me that I have a disease. I just call bullshit. Like I don't have a fucking disease. I just like to get high. You know, like that's it. Like I can stop when I want to, or maybe I can't, but it's doesn't fucking matter because I just want to get high. I come to understand, bro, that like getting outside of myself is like really the key. Like even here, bro, like I mean, like I don't have Facebook, like I'm not on social media, and like even coming here, right, like this isn't for me. Like I'm probably not gonna go back and listen to this, right? Like it's just participating in life, like participating, being here with you guys, like building a relationship with you guys, right? Like it's not about the fucking podcast, right? It's about like you guys are doing something for the greater good, and just because like maybe I'm with it or not with it, or will listen to this later and be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Like, it's not about that. It's just about participating in life. Because I was never able to do that when I was using. Like, I was never able to participate in anything but, like, putting a needle in myself.
And I kind of want to go back to what you said about, like, how people say you got to do it for yourself, right? I'm going to talk about me, right? I didn't love myself enough. I didn't like myself enough. Like, I wanted to fucking kill myself almost on a fucking daily basis, bro, right? The only thing that kept me alive was my children.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, bro. Every time I like got in those really dark places, obviously there was moments where I was like, fuck them kids too. They're better off without me, right?
Yeah.
But like those are the only things that kept me tethered to reality. These are the only things that like try to manage my life while I'm fucking getting loaded.
Yeah.
I remember in early recovery, maybe I had like a year, and we're at Denny's. We had this newcomer girl, right, who has a DCFS case, which was CPS case. That's what most people know it as, right? And we're sitting there, and we're at Denny's after the meeting, bro, right? And this girl's sitting there, bro, and she can't stay clean, right? She lost her kid. She's going through all this stuff, right? And, like, everybody's like, well, you can't do it for your kids. You got to do it for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I fucking stopped her. I said, whatever fucking reason that you are here,
whatever it takes, whatever motivation that's keeping you clean today, right? She had like 2 days clean. Use that.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't like yourself enough, if you don't love yourself enough, maybe, just maybe you love your kids enough that you're willing to stay clean one more fucking day, bro.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, bro, I have to be careful with what I tell people, because what I tell people could fucking kill people, bro.
Exactly, bro.
You know?
Exactly. And that's like kind of like what I've learned, bro, is that going back to all the using and everything, bro, like I always knew that I was doing wrong, bro. But like somewhere along the line, I lost the inability to take the action to do what's right.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that I didn't know that I was doing wrong.
Right.
And it wasn't even the fact that like I didn't like the things that I was doing. Like, who wants to fucking stick a needle in their dick, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? I like my dick. You know, it's cool, but I need it. You know, but like I was totally powerless, bro. Like I was totally like had no control over anything, and so that was like my saving grace was my kids, bro. Because if I didn't have my kids, like there would be really no reason for me to like see a future. So I went into treatment, man, and thank God, man, for some people in this program. You know, like I don't know about other people, but not this program, but Narcotics Anonymous, right? Because my entrance to NA was like a beautiful thing. Like some people, they grabbed me up, they put me in a support group. First meeting, bro. Like the story that I'll tell is I went to my first meeting out of treatment, and my buddy, he was there. He was supposed to share. It was at Do It in the Dark, when Do It in the Dark was at the Unity Club, and he was supposed to share, but they double booked. So they were like, oh, he came all the way out from Pomona, and he was like on a resentment in the meeting. He was like, man, like man, fuck these fools, like, you know what I mean? Like, they fucking called us out here. He brought a whole mob. He brought like 8-9 people, bro, like to come out there and hear him share. And I was there on my first day out of treatment. And I shared, bro, like, that I'm a fucking, like, I don't know what to do. I just got out of treatment. I still had all my clothes in my car. And I can tell this story because we've shared together. Like, went and we've led meetings together, and we've told this story. Like, he's told his part and I've told my part, right? And so what ended up happening is he realized that God placed him there to meet me, right? Because I shared, and he realized that, like, yo, like, I was never supposed to be here to share. Like, I was supposed to be here to meet this guy. And so they took me out to Denny's, man, and I followed them. You know, I got into sober living, and like, I mean, I have some really interesting stories from using, but really, like, my road in recovery has been it's such a better story than anything that's happened in my using, because I've been able to come to a place of like acceptance. Like, in the beginning of my recovery, man, like, you know, I got into the work like right away. Like, I met my sponsor, and he told me, he was like, check this out. He was like, you come to this meeting every day. He was like, you show up, and because I don't know, he said, I don't know how you're doing if I don't see you. He was like, we're not gonna read and write a bunch of shit. He was like, I'm gonna get you doing shit. And I showed up every day. He told me to get on my knees and pray. And I didn't really ask questions. Like, I didn't have the, I was so void of like life. You know, I was so isolated in my addiction that like, I didn't even know how bad I was, you know? I didn't really have any fight in me left. So it wasn't like, this is the craziest thing about like, just I don't know, the road to recovery, man, because I can't tell you, like, I can't like for sure say that I made a conscious choice to do this. You know what I mean? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I can't, like, I try to find it. Like, I'll be thinking some days, I'll be in my car thinking, like, when did I like choose to like want to do this? Because I don't remember ever making a conscious choice. It just started happening. And like, that's for me, like, the spiritual part of like, not only the program, but just life. Because like, I went from the inability to like do anything good for myself but use drugs, to be able to come to a place to where I just fucking surrendered, like, without really trying, you know? And like, that's like evidence enough for me, you know? It's so funny to me how like we go to like you'll be in a meeting, or you'll even just in life, and like, it's like people will do shit that's like fucking hella bad for them, but you tell them to do something good for them, like pray, you know? And like, you tell them, like, just pray, bro. Like, you don't even have to know you're praying to, and like, people don't want to do it. You know, they're like unwilling.
And you
to
literally
do it.
have nothing to lose at that point.
You have nothing to lose, right? You know, and I mean, I can't say I get it. I mean, I can say I maybe like, I don't really know, you know, because for me, bro, like, I was just willing to do anything. Like, I didn't see anything religious about it. Like, I never, like, I wasn't the kind of addict that like was in my addiction, like doing foxhole prayers. Like, bro, when I went to jail, like, as soon as the cuffs were locked on me, like, my first thought was like, fuck, I can't get high, I'm a withdrawal. And then I was like, how am I gonna get through this? And then when I'm in jail, then I'm like, okay, I need to bunk it up, get better, and then I need to like just start programming and get with it. So like, if something pops off, like, I don't get fucking fucked up, you know? And my motivation for that was because like, I just want to get back out, to like get back to the streets. You know what I mean? So it was never like, I was never ever like, I never did foxhole prayers. I never had problems with God. Like, I didn't even think about God when I was using. I mean, I thought about him from time to time, but I wasn't ever thinking about crying out to him and praying him to help me, because I didn't believe that I'd get help from God when I was fucking up. You know, but now being in the program, for me, man, like, I was able to surrender. I was able to come to a place of acceptance for everything that's happened for me. And, you know, I started this recovery journey with my sponsor. And I truly believe that, you know, for me, man, that I was supposed to be here. Like, I was supposed to be here for a reason. And in the program, my reason for living is to help another addict, and in life, my reason for living is to be a father to my children, and my other reasons for living, I'm finding out as I go. You know, like I'm back in school, and I'm doing a lot of things that I've never done for my life before. You know, I think that the early days of my recovery were easy. Like I struggled a lot because I didn't have money or anything. But here, this is what I'll say. So you guys know that story of the 3 pigs, right?
Yeah.
The 3 little pigs. Yeah. You heard me say it the other day. My
That's
sponsor.
good, though.
Yeah. Well, my sponsor always tells me it, bro. Like he tells me all the time. He says it's so you have the first pig, right? And he builds his house out of like straw, like real quick, and then he's inside chilling, relaxing. The second pig, he builds his house out of sticks, real quick. He builds it up. He's chilling, relaxing, like having a good time, just chilling. The last little pig, he's like building his foundation. He brick and mortar. He's taking his time. It takes him forever. The other pigs are like, man, like why are you just? What are you doing? Like you don't need to do all that. Like we're chilling, bro. They got their feet up, you know. Right. And then the big bad wolf of addiction comes along, blows the other 2 pigs' houses down, but the one with the foundation is still standing, right? Yeah. And that's how I see my recovery, man. Like right now, bro. Like I'm not worried about like the shiny stuff, because I know it'll come. You know, like don't get me wrong. Like I have envy. I get jealous. You know, I've seen people come in and get new cars and get new jobs and get some badass girls and get the girl that I see that I want. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting, like, I've been in meetings, bro. Like, I was in a meeting the other day, and there was this, like, a girl, and I have already been looking at her. I'm like, damn, bro, like, she's bad, you know? And then, and I'm like, I want to go and talk to her. Like, I want to. Like, everything inside my spirit, like my head wants to, right? Like I'm, like my flesh, right? I want to go and talk to this girl. And then the other day she comes into the meeting with this other dude, tatted back, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like chilling. And I'm like, damn, bro, like I wanted that, you know? Like, but at the end of the day, bro, like what, like she's new. You know what I mean? Like, what is that gonna bring into my life, bro? Like anything, like what positivity is that gonna bring into my life? But satisfying a need that no one's ever died from, like not having sex. I don't know anybody that has. Right. You know what I mean? Like the first 2.5 years of my recovery, like I didn't fuck around, you know, because I knew, bro, like I had to build that foundation. Yeah. And
you know, when you said that story.
Yeah.
Like I interpreted what you said into like the little pig with the straw house is like the addict who's just going to meetings, right?
Yeah.
And the one who did it out of sticks was like going to the meetings, maybe get a coffee commitment, and then going to Denny's, right? And then the one who built the foundation is the one who's digging in and getting a sponsor and working the steps and helping others. Yeah. And I thought that was a cool story because like when you told it, you know, that's what I kind of interpreted it as. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing about all of this, right? It's like and that's why my sponsor told me that we're not going to do a lot of reading or writing, right? Because I think so many people are focused on like trying to like get you to do A, B, and C, but the point is to get someone to have their own understanding of what this is. Yeah, you know, the point is to get somebody to a point that where they're self-sufficient. Yeah. You know, it's not my job to like hold your hand and and bring you out of addiction. Like my job is just to be there for you and to help walk you through it. And for me, like that story, what that means is like, it's like going back to when I was talking about being envious of that guy with that girl, because I was like, fuck, I should have busted a move. But really, bro, like at the end of the day, it's just a feeling, like, right? I don't like when I see all these things happening, I'm like, damn, I wish I could be with her. Damn, wish I could have that car. I forget about all the other things I'm doing. You know, I forget the fact that I'm in school to be an engineer.
Right.
I forget the fact that, you know, I'm of service at a regional level. I forget the fact that, like, the EIE trusted me with $1,500 check that I didn't want to take because that scares me. But the whole ASC trusted me enough to write me a check for $1,500, no questions asked, for an event that we're throwing, right? I forget all those things. I forget the fact that, like, I'm consistent and then I see my kids, right? Like, I forget all the things that I'm doing to build the foundation and to build a life that I'm not willing to throw away. You know, when I'm sitting in that envy or I'm sitting in that jealousy. Like, I used to get so jealous. Like, my sponsee brother, like, he works at a law firm. He works with my sponsor. Like, he makes a good living. He has a house. And my other sponsee brother, he used to be my sponsee brother. Like, he was getting these raises when I came in. And, like, I got a job with my sponsor, and then they let me go, you know, for a reason that truly wasn't my fault. I went over the work with my sponsor, and it wasn't my fault. It was just something that you know, happened because of stuff that past people were doing, you know, and they were scared that I was going to sue them over it because they weren't really doing things right, the job. So they let me go, you know, and I was so jealous, bro. I was so jealous. But, like, what I didn't realize is that, like, the work that I'm putting in, like, you know, that hard work, it's like you reap benefits right away. But they come in, like, small increments. They come in, like, super small increments, and it's not, like, always something tangible, right? Like, like me, I want something tangible. Like, I want the new shoes. Like, I want the money. I want the car. I want this, or I want that. I want this. But really, bro, like, let me go back to this, right? Like, remember I was talking to you about my friend Justin, right? My friend Justin. So he passed away 4 years ago from cirrhosis. He passed away, and when I went to treatment, I ended up, like, linking back up with his mom. It was during COVID when we went to his service and everything, and you know what I mean? Like, while I was living sober living, and, like, I got blessed, bro, and I live with her, bro, and, like, I get to pay amends to her through like, for the money that, like, I can never pay back for her. Like, I'm at the house with her. Like, her husband passed away. You know, her son passed away. Her husband passed away from cancer, and her son passed away. And I live at the house with her. And, like, I have a place to live. I pay my rent, and then I get to help her around the house where, like, she doesn't have that, you know, like, her husband or son anymore. You know, but she has me, you know? Like, both my parents are sick right now. Like, bro, I'm going through a lot right now. Like, with my parents, like, both of my parents are sick. You know, my dad's 95. He's on his way out. My mom's in the hospital. She caught pneumonia. And, like, but I'm still grateful. Like, I didn't, like, going back to what you're saying, like, I didn't have the ability to be grateful when I got here. People tell me, like, Matt, write a gratitude list. And, like, Matt,
for what?
Right? Bro, like, when I was in treatment, bro, and they were like, what are your goals? I was like, on my list, bro, literally, one of the things was, like, get my ears pierced. That was, like, one of my goals, bro, like, when I was in treatment, to get out, bro. Like, some people were talking, like, I want to go skydiving. I want to have a keys to the house. I was like, bro, I want to get my ears pierced, bro. I want to get some gauges. I want to get some tattoos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are my goals, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, in my head, I'm thinking I just want that, like, one badass girl, you know? Like, because I still want to be somebody else, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have the hair like Adam, bro. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, bro. Like when I first met you, bro, like, I was like, damn, fool, that fool's fucking beard is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, like, I still do that stuff, bro. But I also have learned that, like, I have the ability to keep it here now, in here, like, in my head. Like, if it stays there, then it's like, okay. I just find somebody to talk to about it. Like, I go to therapy. Like, I do these things, man. Like, I do a lot for my recovery, bro. Consistency, I believe, is my sponsor tells me something. He's like, bro, any prayer is good as long as you do it consistent. Any meditation is good as long as you do it consistent. You know, any meeting is good as long as you go to it consistently. You know, And I think sometimes people get so caught up with like, and I'm not saying, bro, like reading and writing
Right.
is bad. It's not. Like, I'm not saying like literature in the program or out the program is bad, but until I have like a practical application of doing something, it's like my sponsor also tells me this, right? He tells me like, bro, he's like, did you ever read a manual how to ride a bike? And I'm like, no. He's like, how'd you learn? Well, I got on it. He's like, yeah, you got on it, but you probably fell a couple times. You got back on, right? But you learned, you got your balance, and you learned how to ride. Yeah, I did. He's like, but now that you know how to ride the bike, right? Maybe you can get on YouTube and you can learn a couple tricks, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, it's the same thing with like recovery, bro. Like I could read and write shit all day, you know, but I mean, at least for me, like I don't have a true understanding of it until I have some experience with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole approach that like I've learned from my recovery is just like to step out of fear, right? To step out of fear and to tackle the situation head on. You know, I'm a lot better in a lot of areas of my life, and there's a lot of areas that I still struggle in. You know, I was talking with my therapist the other day, and I love my therapist, bro. Like, she's so bad. I mean, like, she's bad, bro. Like, she's fine as fuck. Yeah. And when she opened the door, bro, and I found out she's my therapist, I was like, oh, thank you, God. You know what I mean? For real, dude. She's so pretty, but she has 6 years in AA, and but like she's cool, bro. Like she gets me and she helps me figure things out, and I'm starting to figure out like that, like even in my addiction, bro. Like I had jobs, like I was able to get jobs, like work. I could be like doing homework, like bro. Like I'm in school. I have a 3.97 GPA right now. Like I'm working, like I'm in student government, like, and I'm just kind of telling you this so you can kind of get an idea of where I have my problems, right? So like in school right now, dude, like I'm doing all this service in NA, right? I'm at school, I'm in student government, like we're literally working on legislation. We're working on writing a resolution to get a bill passed for legislation for the state of California to get water bottle refilling stations in all California community colleges. So we're in the process of writing that right now, right?
Like the ones in the gyms?
Like the ones in the gyms, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're in the process of writing a resolution to submit to General Assembly in LA this April. And we're going to present it, and if it gets presented, the SSCCC is the Student Senate of California Community Colleges. What they'll do is they'll take it to the state, they'll take it to the chancellor's office, and then they'll push for it to get past this legislation. If it does, and like, well, I'm going.
That's dope,
dude.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm doing right now. Like I'm working on reopening the Child Care Development Center at my school. I'm the chair of a task force at my school. Like, bro, I can like. I'm a savage, bro, when it comes to like work, school, and all these things, bro. Get me in front of a girl I like, or get me to get vulnerable, and I'm horrible, bro. Yeah. And my sponsor, my therapist told me, she goes, why do you think that is, man? I'm like, I don't know. She was like, how much emotion and vulnerability is involved with the things that you're doing at school? And I'm like, oh shit. She's like, how much emotion do you think is involved in that? And I'm like, not really any. She's like, yeah, that's how life is, right?
Most of life is just showing up, dude.
Yeah. You know, she's like, our culture is like, you leave your feelings at the door. When you come to work, you leave your feelings at the door.
Yeah.
You know, so we're already like trained for that kind of, like, that's already like our culture, right? So I'm like starting to understand, bro, that like, all that stuff I talked about my childhood, and that's why I talked about it, because it's what's relevant with me going on today. It is like I'm very picky and choosy, dude. Like with the men I get vulnerable with, not because I don't like men, right? But because like my friend Justin I told you about, my friend Aaron that I told you about, because of my dad, I'm picky and choosy because I'm always constantly comparing you. I'm like, oh man, like he's not as cool as my friend Justin that passed away, or he's not the same as my homie Aaron, like, or he's like my dad, or he's too much like me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because I or right, here's the other thing that's hard to admit, right? It's like damn, that fucking guy, I look up to him. He's dope. He's cool. You know? But I don't want to fuck it up. Like, I don't want him to not like me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, people, when I came into the rooms, like, people thought I was like a womanizer because I have a lot of friends that are women. But the reality is, bro, this is easy for me to get along with women because, like, I don't really have high expectations for myself with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I don't, bro. Like, I don't. Like, I might look and come off confident, but I don't. You know, because at the end of the day, bro, it's like, I'll, like, perfect example, bro. Like, I love white girls.
Me
Blo-
too.
I like, you know, like, I love, like all my friends know this, and if they listen to this, they're gonna be dying laughing. Like, bro, like, I will, like, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, like, I love it. But like at the end of the day, when I see like that girl in the meeting the other day, don't worry, guys, she's in San Fernando Valley. But that girl in the meeting the other day, right? Like, I already knew, bro. Like, I tested the waters. Like, you know, I threw out a couple compliments, and I'm like, oh, she's not fucking with me. I'm not white enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew it, and those are the kind of things I think in my head, bro. Like,
Right.
those are the kind of things that I think in my head. It's like, I'm never gonna get the girl I want. I'm not white enough. I'm fucking losing my hair. You know what I mean? Like A, B, and C, D, E. You know.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that I think about.
I think for me, I struggle with the same thing, not being enough.
Yeah.
And I think for a long time,
Bro.
bro, I think for a long time, mine's with women, it was like, I'm not manly enough.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm a very vulnerable person. I'm a very, like, in tune with my emotions. For a long time, I was too much in tune with my emotions.
Yeah.
Now I have, like, a healthy balance, right? So,
Yeah.
like, I'm not tough enough. Or, like,
Yeah.
even when it comes to men, right? Like, the reason why it was hard for me to be vulnerable with men is because I've always... And me and Mike, we talk about this, but for years, even in recovery, every male that I came in contact with was a threat.
Yeah.
Right? And so if I met you, maybe not when I met you, Matt, because, you know, you've been here 2.5 years, right? So,
Yeah.
like, it's faded away a lot, bro. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know where it faded away, but, like, for a
Yeah.
long time, everybody I came in contact with, if I'm meeting you for the first time, my first thought is, can I beat your ass?
Yeah.
My second thought is, if I can't beat your ass, what could I grab to fuck you up with if you ever fucking try to get a little froggy, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it was hard for me to be vulnerable with men because I didn't want men to think that I was weak. I didn't want women to think that I was weak. So I had to have this persona or like
Yeah.
this idea of what I thought a man was supposed to be or what I was raised to believe what a man was supposed to be. So it was really difficult for me
Yeah.
to be vulnerable. And it's still hard for me sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
well, can I share this with her? Because if I do, then she's going to think I'm weak and I'm not going to be a man. And then,
Yeah.
then that's going to like lose the dynamic of a female and a male fucking relationship. And so
Yeah.
it's like, all these things, am I enough? And I
Yeah.
still struggle with that, bro. 11 years.
Yeah.
And it's still hard for me. It's gotten better over the years,
Yeah.
right? And we have to look at that because we could sit here. I think Mike shared about it at the meeting on Friday. We could sit here, bro, and figure out everything that's not wrong, everything that's not right with us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not doing this good enough, this ain't happening right. But when we get to step 4 and 5. And all we sit there and we focus on the character defects and the shortcomings,
Yeah.
right? But there's also another list of the assets.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
okay, this is where I'm short at, right? This
Yeah.
is what I struggle with.
Yeah.
But look at how far I've come.
Yeah.
Right? Look at
Yeah.
how much, like, okay, there's still self-hatred, right? But I don't want to kill myself anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, that's progress,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, bro, like, it's just about, like, there are moments where I'm like, you're still not enough.
Yeah.
Right? But then I also have these moments like, man, fuck that. Whoever the fuck you're not enough for, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody
Yeah.
and everybody, bro. If
Yeah.
I'm not enough for you, if I'm not who you want in your life, that's okay, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so I just wanted you to know, like, I struggle with that too,
Yeah.
bro. I am not
Yeah.
enough sometimes.
Yeah, and then that's like the whole thing with going back to like the Three Little Pigs story, bro, is like building that like that recovery, bro, and that's why I chose to like not like involve myself in a relationship for so long because like, and that's like another reason why I choose to not like be on Instagram. Like, I talk a lot of shit and like, you know, I'm like, I don't want to be on Instagram, but like at the end of the day, bro, like when I'm alone in my room, like and I go somewhere like, and this is not just in meetings, bro, just in life, because like all that shit I'm telling you at school, like, bro, we got Instagrams for the committees, we got all this, and like I was talking to my friend about this morning, right? It's kind of like there's a lot of things that are good for me that like I feel like I'm missing out on because I'm like not on social media, right? Or my friend that helped me when I first got into the rooms. I don't want to like people's name out there, but Tiny. But my friend that my friend that got me into the rooms. You know, I'll always call him about like some girl, bro, and he'll be like, bro, like you're never gonna know if you don't just take a leap. Yep. He was like, and what is it? I forget the IP, but it talks about robbing yourself of the spontaneity of life, right? Like, and that's like one of the gifts that recovery gives us, is right. It's like to have that spontaneity of life, right? But then I just kind of like pray and I go back and I'm just like, man, like, but do I really need it? Like, like one of the things I learned earlier in my recovery is like about being a willing participant in things, and it's kind of like am I okay though? Like do I really need to pursue this relationship with this girl? Like, I mean, I could probably do it, get through it, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, you know. But then I like fact check and I ask myself, it's like, well, what are your motives? Like, what are your motives? Because, like, at the end of the day, like, I can't really find a reason that I like her that much to, like, lead her on or lead myself on or whatever, you know? Or, like, with the whole social media thing, it's like, do I really need to get on it? Like, what are my intentions? You know? What are my intentions? Like, no, really what my intentions are is, like, I mean, like, there's a lot of things that are happening on there that I'm missing out on, but, like, maybe I want to see, like, who wants to slide in my DMs.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'll be finding people that I'm like, dang, how did you guys hook up? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys live in like different cities. Like, how do you get, like, you know, or like, oh, how did you, like, how do you know these people? Like, why are you being asked to share way out here? Oh, because everybody's linking up on Facebook. And like, and for me right now in my life at this moment, it's just, I just don't see a need to like add it into my life.
One thing that you said that stuck out to me was that, like, what is this going to add to my life?
Yeah.
Or is this going to take from my life?
Yeah.
And social media, I think, does more taking than it does
I agree.
adding to your life.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Because I would be lying to you if, like, I haven't told you. Like, I think, like, the most social media I do, bro, is, like every, like, once in a while, like, I'll get on Hinge, and then, like, I'll pay for, like, a week, bro. I get like the super pack, bro. You know what I mean? The super pack, bro. Like likes on the top, like every, you know, like the whole
See
shebang.
who likes you.
Yeah, the whole shebang, bro. And I'll do it for like a week, bro. And even in that, bro, I'm not enough, right? Because like I'm constantly changing my profile. Like I'm constantly like changing up my little sayings. You know, I'm constantly like, you know, like, bro, like, I could get real deep right now and tell you some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, I'll be on there, bro. Like, this is, like, some real shit, bro. I'm gonna probably be mad that I said this, but, like, I'll be on there, bro, and I'll, like, snapshot, bro. Like, I'll snapshot some shit, and then I'll chat GBT it. I'll be like, come up with a good saying for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'll fucking just copy and paste that shit, and I'll just be, like, liking shit, bro. Like, you know? And then, like, nothing ever happens, bro. Yeah. And then I'm over it in a week, and I'm like, see, this is why I don't do this. And then I delete it, you know? And I delete it. And I'm just like, bro, like, I have to, like, remind myself that, like, I'm just human, you know? Like, I mean, I could sit here and talk, like, a bunch of cool recovery shit to you guys and make myself sound super dope and spiritual, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just, like, excited for the journey, bro, because, like, I mean, I can tell you, like, there's been points in my recovery where I was, like, yo, man, like, I was, like, on top of the world, and I was just, like, I mean, I'm sure we've all felt it. It's, like, somewhere around, like when I finished my steps, because I finished my steps early, and I had my service commitments, and I was just, like, bro, like, I know more than you guys, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my sponsor's better than you guys. Like, like you guys don't work a program like me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I write my inventory every day.
That's the comparison.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? But I've come to
I'll
learn.
flip it back and forth. The comparison. Either you're better than me and I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Or I'm better than you and you don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'll work it both ways. man.
You know, me too. But like at the end of the day, bro, like I'm like, so right now, bro, like where I'm at right now is like my dad is probably my dad's like dying. My mom is really sick. You know, my family is like I'm taking care of my mom. You know, I'm 13 units in school. Like I'm doing all those things that I told you about, right?
13 units away from graduating?
No, 13 units this semester.
Oh, okay.
I still have the rest of this year and another semester.
Oh, okay.
So you know, I got my 3.97, you know, all this shit, bro. But like I have just enough like to I'm managing and I'm doing life and like I'm going to the gym and like even the gym, bro. Like I started the gym for one reason and one reason only, because I wanted to fucking look like him. You know?
Yeah.
But what I found out today is that like really the reason why I go to the gym today is because I feel better about myself when I do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I feel I truly feel better about myself. You know, there was a couple times, it happens like a little spurts. I was walking out of the gym one day and I was like, bro, I feel fucking good right now. Like I was listening, I had my AirPods in. I was listening, I don't remember what song I was listening to. Like
It was the song.
It was a song.
Yeah.
There was bad girls walking past me. Like I wasn't even turning my head to check them out. You know, like I wasn't doing the double take. I didn't even look at them. You know, and like I felt like high, bro. And then I was like, yo. And then I got my car, and then it left. And then I was like, is that what self-confidence feels like? And I was like, yo,
Okay.
that's crazy. That's like what self-confidence feels like, you know? And then I was like, yo, I want some more of that. And that's when I realized that like when I, like, for instance, like when I'm in a meeting, I'm sure you guys heard, like when I'm in a meeting, dude, like I don't talk about like my service commitments. You know, like I don't talk about, I talk about stuff I'm doing in school right now just to give you guys context, right? But like nobody really, like before today, like how much of my life did you know?
Not
much.
No.
Like,
That's why I was so excited, because there's,
You know?
I know bits and pieces about you, and
Yeah.
I met you at this
Yeah.
point in time and this
Yeah.
point in time, but like, I
because
was excited to hear.
because I've learned to and it's not really like, you know, I've learned to differentiate between like keeping secrets and then like
Discernment.
and like discernment. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I do these things like for me, bro. Like I do them for me. Like I don't do them to throw them in front of your face and tell you like and be like, look at how good I'm doing. Like look at
Yeah.
this, because really at the end of the day, bro, like I'm still human like you, and like I just told you about a bunch of shit that I fucking do that like I don't fucking want to tell anybody. I just literally told you, bro, how I chat GBT messages to girls on Hinge.
Yeah.
Do you think I want that to be on YouTube? No. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But like I like it, that stuff I do for me, you know, like really, you know, like I just I'm super grateful, bro, for like my life today and like the ability to like make choices. Because I know one thing, bro, like I don't give a fuck what anyone says, bro. I don't care what anyone in meeting says. I don't care what the literature says. Like I have a choice today not to use drugs because I have a God in my life, bro. And but do I ever have a choice against the disease of addiction? I don't, bro. Because if I believe that I do, then that leaves. I don't have a choice against the disease of addiction. Like I can't fight with the disease of addiction. Like I can't wrestle with it. You know, my disease isn't in the parking lot doing push-ups, bro. Like it's in me, bro. You know, bro. I'm gonna tell you something I do. You know that song Chris Brown? What is it? Say Goodbye. I'm not gonna try to sing it.
I have no idea. I don't listen to shit.
I don't either, bro. But I heard it in one of my homegirls' cars. But it's like it's Chris Brown, and it's like a love song, right? And he's talking about how like he's saying goodbye to this girl, and like how like he doesn't want like leader on, and like how it's like super hard for him to let go. And I listen to that shit every day, bro. But when I listen to it in the context of like me saying goodbye to like that lifestyle. And I listen to it every day, bro. Or I listen to at least one song a day that like brings me back to that.
I have a song like that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think one of the things that irks me that people say, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get to this point, but it irks me when I'm in a meeting and I hear somebody say like, "Oh, I'm glad that you came in and you showed me that it's still not working out there." Like, bro, I don't need somebody to fucking show me that. The fuck are you talking about? Like, I keep that pain close to my chest, like, right?
Yeah.
I keep it close to my chest because I don't ever want to forget like where I came from, dude. I have pictures on my phone of how I used to look.
I have a video too, bro.
You know,
like I keep it for that reason.
Yeah. I don't ever want to forget, bro, because the moment I forget is the moment that I think that I have some kind of choice. You know, again, you know, to be a normal person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Well,
It's not something that I don't want to happen, bro. So I just I listen to that song, bro, and I get in my feels for a little bit, you know, and then I turn it off, and then I just go about my day.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
I just go about my fucking day, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. We're just about done here. I got one question I want to ask you. I ask everybody at the end.
No, I won't show you my boobs.
that's fucked up, man.
He's sitting here with his shirt off right now. I don't know why he's saying that. Anyway, if there was one piece of advice you could give to somebody who's like been through some of the experiences that you've had to go through and maybe struggling with trying to get clean or doesn't know what to do next, man, what would that be?
You know what, man? First off, like, I would hope that person has fucked their life up really fucking bad, so they're desperate enough. But what I will say is that just I had to learn that I had to like surrender, and what I mean by surrender is just to do something not my way.
Yeah.
You know, like if it's clearly that you're doing something in your life. I think one of the greatest strengths that I've gained, like in my recovery, is the ability to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The ability to let somebody else help me. And that's like what the whole program is about, bro. Oh. You know, because like I could have the ability to like really better my life, but you know, outside perspectives are like they're really priceless.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and like participation with other people, you know, and so like when you allow people to come into your life, as much as it sucks, like it's the thing that I hate the most is like to allow somebody to help me. But like this, like coming on today, you know, like I mean, I got other things I could be doing, you know. I have like 3 other things I could be doing right now, but it's like participating, getting to know people, and like letting someone else help you. You know, giving someone else the opportunity to help themselves by helping you. Yeah. You know?
So, yeah.
No, that would be it.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, and if you guys are listening to this, please subscribe, comment, like. Also, if you think that anybody needs to hear Matt's story, share it with them. Make sure you guys follow us on IG, which is The Message is Hope podcast _ between each word. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
As someone who struggled with addiction in the past, how does it feel to be able to give hope to others who are still struggling now?
You know, it's such an honor to be able to hear other people's experiences of life, to see how when faced with the very thing that was sent to destroy you, kill you, and take you out forever didn't, but rather you have been given a second chance to give hope and be a light for those who are still in the dark. So don't be afraid to share your message to the world. You never know whose life you might be saving.